Welcome to the next lesson. This is 3F. What I have posted for you guys here in the very beginning is this two standards are going to. I know there is a typo here. There should be line with an E, etc. Okay, so we are working with slope-intercept form, which is part of graph a linear equation. So we're going to be able to do this. Graph a linear equation. Now 3F says, given an equation in any form, so that be slope-intercept, point-slope, standard form, whatever it might be, you will be able to graph and identify the slope, the intercept, and actually graph the line on a coordinate plane with 100% accuracy. That's our goal for today. Now, here's our do now question. Just a little bit of review. We're looking for the x-intercept. X-intercept is when the y value equals 0, so we need to find the x value, so this y value should be 0, and our x value should be found. So I'm going to rewrite this equation as 2/3 x minus 5y, and we know what our y value is. Our y value, like we just said, is 0. 5 times 0. So 5 times 0 goes away. I'm left with 2/3 x equals 15, and I'll multiply the reciprocal on both sides. 3/2 times 3/2. These cancel, again they make a 1, and our x value is equal to 45/2. 15 times 3 is 45 over 1 times 2, which is 2. 45/2. Now, inversely, if we're looking for the y-intercept, we know that our x value should be equal to 0. So this is 0. We just need to find out what it is when I make that x value 0. So here's our equation. 2/3 minus 5y equals 15. Here's our y, is what we're looking for, and we know our x value is 0, so 2/3 times 0 is 0. We'll bring this down. This is a mistake I saw a lot on your quiz. You bring the entire part down with that negative 5, y equals 15, and then divide by negative 5 on both sides. Again, that makes a 1. They go away. Y equals 3/1, negative 1, which can be reduced as y equals negative 3. Now, these are things that you can graph with. Just to give you as an idea, you can graph these 2 points on the y-intercept and on the x-axis. Here we're going to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Again, most of you guys already know this. Y equals mx plus b. And from our last lesson, we know that this is our y-intercept. We know that this is our slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this equation. 1/2 x plus 4y, minus 4y, sorry, minus 4y equals 2. And just like this equation over here, I'm going to get y by itself, y all alone. So let's change colors a little bit so we can do all the work in one color. Get rid of this 1/2, so minus 1/2 x, and again keep my equation equal, minus 1/2 x. Like this equation, the x comes first, so I'll rewrite that using our commutative property. The minus 1/2 x first, and then the positive 2. The negative 4y comes down. Divide by negative 4 here. They go away. Now my goal is reached. Y is all by itself. Yay. And we're left with negative 1/2 divided by 4/1 can be written as negative 1/2 times 1/4. Keep, change, flip, and we get negative 1/8. Sorry, positive 1/8, because this is a negative and this 4 is a negative. 1/8 x. Let's change those colors. This should be in green, and this x should be in black, and our slope is going to be plus 2. Okay, so we know this is our slope. Okay, slope, and y-intercept is this 2 over here. This is y-intercept. Now these two pieces of information are super important, and that's what we're going to be able to do. That's part of our objective right here. Again, we'll be able to identify slope and intercept. This should be y-intercept. Let's fix that. Should be y-intercept and graph the line. So far, we've been able to do that. We've been able to identify our slope and y-intercept. We're going to be able to graph. Okay. Now here's an example of a equation. Let's rewrite the actual slope-intercept formula. So y equals 7 over 2. Let me erase that wrong color. Should be in green. Trying to stay consistent. 7 over 2x minus 2. Now we know this is slope, and we know this is y-intercept. Okay, also known as y equals mx plus b. Again, everything is color coordinated, and I'll even do this with your line. Let's color coordinate this line a little better. Y-intercept is this line here is our y-intercept. So on this line we are looking for -2. So here's -2. This is also what I like to call our starting point. Okay, this is where I start all the time. -2. Y-intercept. A lot of you guys are going to confuse this with your x. It's not your x. Okay, it's your y-intercept. Now slope is rise over run, so it's a positive number is 7, and our run is +2. Positive, positive. These are positive numbers. These are positive numbers. These are negative numbers. These are negative numbers. So from here, our starting point, up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up, and then 2 to the right. 1, 2. Okay, I got my line. I'll make a little dotted line so I know where it is. Change the color. And that is our line. Okay. Graphed our first line using slope-intercept form. Okay. Students do, same thing. Let's copy this down from the other side. This is important. So let's bring it over here. These things here. Y-intercept, slope, that's our b, that's our m, that's our x, and there's our y. Again, that's our starting point. Now the unique thing about our slopes right now is it's not a fraction. It doesn't have a rise over run right now. So we'll fix that. We'll make this slope -6 over 1. So based on the slope, that means I'm going to go down 6 plus 1. Remember, there's no sign in front, it's a positive. Again, our lines are going to be blue on our y-axis. Okay, that's our y-intercept. And our y-intercept line is +3. So this is my starting point, which means I'm going to start here at +3. Starting point, +3. According to my slope, it looks like -6 over 1. -6 is, again, negative down here, positive over here. This is rise, this is run, negative, like you'll see all the negative numbers down here. Positive, these are all positive numbers. Down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then +3. +3. So +3, oh sorry, +1, down 3, +1, +1. Okay, here's our line. Goes, let's just change colors. Let's do this in red. Here's our line. There we go. Connect our 2 dots. I'm set. Okay. Now the different thing about these next 2 problems is they're not in slope-intercept form. They're not y equals mx plus b. So that's our first goal. We need to make sure this looks like y equals mx plus b. mx plus b. So once it's in this formula, we know what to do. Y-intercept and slope. Okay. Now, according to this, I'll cut my equation in half. Y has to be by itself. So if y is by itself, what I got to do is I got to move everything else out of the way. Here's my y. I got to get rid of this 3x. So we'll get rid of that one first. Minus 3x minus 3x. When I subtract those 3x's from both sides, I now, those go away, have 5y equals negative 5y minus 3x. Here's our minus 3x. And then minus 5. Again, let me color coordinate this. Here's my negative 3. Here's my x. And then here's my plus 5y. Oh, minus 5. Now what you notice is it's starting to look like it. I got my 3 and then the x. I got my number that's all by itself with no variable. The only thing I got to do is kind of divide this 5, get rid of this 5. So I'll divide this side by 5, so these go away. And I now have y all by itself. I'll divide this side by 5 also. And I'll divide that 5 by 5. Everything gets divided by 5. Now when I get down to the end, I'll have this negative 3/5 x. And then 5 divided by 5 is 1, so minus 1. This is my formula that I'm looking for, right here. This one, minus this part. So, now that I have everything together, we'll start here again on the y-intercept. Here's our y-intercept. And it says, according to this line, negative 1. So here, negative 1. My slope says down 3 plus 5. So I'll go down 1, 2, 3 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I got my line all ready to go. Let's graph, connect our dots. Our first dot with our second dot. Last but not least, this is yours. Again, y needs to be by itself. So I will cut this equation in half. It should look like this in the end. So I should have this all the way down here at the end. That means this stuff's got to go. This is what we call standard form. So we'll change standard form. Minus 6x minus 6x. And then we'll have 5y equals negative 6x plus 20. What you know now, like before, I'm starting to get down towards my goal. Y is by itself. All I gotta do is get rid of this 5. This side, 5. And this side, I'll do everything by 5. These 5s cancel. And I now have, like I wanted, y all by itself, yippee, and negative 6 divided by 5 is negative 6 over 5, x, and then 20 divided by 5 is plus 4. Again, that 4 is where I start, always where I start on the y-intercept. Here it is. I start at positive 4 here, positive 4, and according to my slope, down 6 and plus 5. So let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting point, just like I have my y-intercept, and my last point will connect those dots with a different colored line, and I'm all good to go. Okay. Now, remember, at the very beginning, here's our learning target. Identify slope, y-intercept, graph. So let's look at the last question that we did. Identify slope. That's this green item right here. Identify slope. And we also have our y-intercept. Check. We graphed it. Okay. Graph. Great. Okay. Now, self-assessment, something new at the bottom. Circle how you feel. On a scale from 0 to 5, how would you rate your understanding of today's lesson? I didn't understand any of it. I got this. I can get an A. Got some of it, not all of it. Okay. Last but not least, your agenda. jump right into your stations. Don't waste time.